Have you ever woken up in the morning, headed for the bathroom, and looked in the mirror only to find a hairy monster looking back at you? You can't go to work like this. You can't face your girlfriend. You can't even brush your teeth through all that hair. Never fear. Herbert Hamlin's hair remover is all you need to get back to your old self again. One easy application, and even a werewolf would end up with skin as smooth and hairless as a newborn babe. Herbert Hamlin's hair remover comes with a money-back guarantee. All your hair gone or your money back. Have complete confidence with Herbert Hamlin. Warning, do not use on pets or plants. Buy Herbert Hamlin's hair remover now. And remember, hair today, gone tomorrow. You're listening to WOOO. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And now, we'd like to introduce two very special guests. I hope our dear Clarence Underwood can maintain his composure this time.
Thank you, Mr. Ghoul. I'm here in the studio with some very interesting characters. Mr. Bigfoot, thank you for joining us. Yes. And you, Mr. Headless Horseman, nice to have you with us. That's a fine pumpkin you have there. Can you tell us something about it? Okay, well... Now, Mr. Bigfoot, let's just keep our paws to ourselves, shall we? And can you tell our listeners how you got your name? All right, now, you can't just hit someone else's pumpkin like that. Mr. Horseman, no pinching, please. Madge, who arranged this interview? Come on now, stop it, you two. Madge, help.
All right, you two. Come with me. Out. You have to learn how to behave.
Excuse us, ladies and gents. Seems our guests got a little too excited this time. I promise to bring you more sophisticated guests next time, or at least ones who can talk.
Hey, don't look at me. It was Orson.
And now back to our very own Mr. Orson Ghoul.
Clarence, your monster skills are pathetic. You've got to give monsters a little respect, that's all.
Orson, you're on the air.
What? Oh, bother! This is Orson Ghoul, and you're listening to Spooks Today on WOOO, the show that brings you all you need to know about goblins, ghoulies, and things that go bump in the night. And now, it's time to take some calls from our listeners. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Yes. Hello? Am I on the air?
Yes, you are on the air.
Oh, okay, well, I just wanted to say that I love your show, and I think the scariest monster of all is the dust bunny under my dresser, because every time I see it, I think it's a rat, and then I scream really loud, and I try to hit it, and then...
Well, why don't you just clean it up and throw it away?
Well, because I'm always too scared, because I think it's a rat, see? And then...
Okay. Thank you very much. Next caller. You're on the air.
Hello, Mr. Ghoul.
Yes, that's me.
Mr. Ghoul, I think you're the scariest monster of all time because you make my spine tingle every time I hear your voice.
Is that so? Well, we're talking about serious monsters here, madam. I think we have another caller on the line. Hello, you're on the air.
Yes, hello? Yes, I'd like to report what I think is certainly the scariest monster I've ever seen, and it was in my backyard this morning.
Is that so? What was it?
Well, it was tall and stood up like a man, but it had hair all over its body and sharp teeth.
A werewolf? Was it a werewolf?
I think we're having some technical trouble.
It had to be. It even had on some clothes, and when it roared, my dog jumped so high he landed on the roof, and I still can't get him down.
Did it try to attack you? Were you wounded? Did it go for your children?
No, nothing like that. It ate all the dog food, then chewed up our new lawn furniture, and chased the cat up a tree.
Oops, I think we lost that call. Too bad.
Well, I guess he stayed a safe distance away. You can never be too careful. Those werewolves are awesome, and terrible creatures. Out for blood they are. Nothing can stop them. Beware, listeners. Werewolves are on the prowl, just as the professor warned us. Tonight the moon is full, and the creatures of the dark will walk. And now, my dear listeners, we have for your listening enjoyment a special profile on a man who has given so much to the world, who taught us new ways of thinking, who traveled to the ends of the earth to bring us daring new methods of extending human life, the one and only Count Dracula. Count Dracula lived in an old castle in Transylvania, a remote country somewhere over by Canada, I think. In any case, Count Dracula was well known for the interesting experiments he performed in the depths of his castle. He loved to take in homeless animals and nurse them back to health, while taking just a bit of their blood and helping them live forever at the same time. Soon he began to perform these experiments on people who came to his castle as visitors. Most of these people appreciated what Count Dracula did for them. Who wouldn't want to live forever? But some were ungrateful and began to spread rumors about the poor Count. This is how he got such a bad reputation, but his true life's work was a fascinating blend of research and helping people. For this story, we interviewed Count Dracula's very own grand-niece, Yakastova Svetlan Laskinova, who spent plenty of time with the Count in his last years of life. Yakastova, can you tell us a little bit about the wonderful work your great-uncle accomplished in his life?
He was a filthy vampire.
Well, that's harsh language you use there, Mrs. May I call you Yak?
Call me what you like. My uncle was a deeply evil man.
But don't you think he just wanted to help people?
He only helped himself to other people's blood.
Now, I think you must
wait, mister, until he come back from the dead and come to leave sharp little holes in your neck. See what you think of him then.
Thank you, Yak. Yak. The bitterness of families. It can poison even the most wonderful memories. I'm sure others remembered him much differently. Here is an interview with Count Dracula's dry cleaner, a man who knew the Count very well. Mr. Hanson, what was your relationship with the Count?
Oh, he came in every day or so with lots of shirts and capes and dresses to be cleaned. They were always covered with blood.
From his experiments, no doubt?
Yes, and very hard to clean, but he paid me a lot of money.
So he was a generous man?
Well, I think he mostly paid me to keep my mouth shut, but he's dead now.
Did you go to his castle much?
Oh, yeah. We had some interesting times there, like the time his grandmother got a little out of hand. We had to cut off her head.
You cut off her head?
Well, one of the only ways to kill a vampire. And she was always telling the Count what to do, so he needed her out of the way.
Oh, well, I suppose if she was a vampire...
Oh, they were all vampires, and usually they had a lot of fun together, but sometimes they got a little wild, drank too much blood, and then someone would wind up with a stake in the heart.
Did you ever participate in this blood drinking?
Oh, sure. If I wanted to live forever, I had to become one, too.
So you're a vampire?
Sure. Wanna see my teeth?
Okay, cut. Hey, let's go. Let's get out of here. That interview, unfortunately, had to end suddenly due to technical difficulties. So much we could have learned from that informative young man. But much of the Count's life will forever remain shrouded in mystery. Now we can only wonder about the life of that tortured, often misunderstood genius, Count Dracula.